Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new recent reads video. The first book on this list is called Those Pink Mountain Nights. This book is a YA contemporary following 3 indigenous teenager main characters who become co-workers and they want to save their local business, aka their job. This story was really good, and honestly I wasn't really expecting it to be at all, just because I read the author's debut the year prior, The Summer of Bitter and Sweet, and I thought it was good. Like, it was a 3-star good read. Honestly, I don't really remember anything about the plot. I know it follows an asexual indigenous main character, but I don't really remember anything else, like, about it at all. But basically, I had pretty low expectations for this book, but I ended up enjoying it so much just because I love the characters so much. Literally, they felt individually so well developed, and I loved the dynamic between the trio. Like, the perspectives were done so well. The plot is so engaging and so intriguing. The indigenous representation is spot on and so excellent. The queer representation also was so good. This book is really solid and it's really good. So anyway, with all that said, I rated this book 4 to 5 stars and I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Nick Blake and the Manifestor Prochecy. This book is a middle-grade urban fantasy that follows a young black main character who goes on a quest to save her dad because he's committed for a crime that she refuses to believe that he did. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but basically this book was, again, really good. And again, I had really low expectations for it just because earlier last year, like when this book came out, I actually DNF'd it and I wasn't really expecting to give it a second chance, but I did whilst I was on vacation and it was so good. Like, the world building is really excellent and it's really well done. The plot is so engaging and so intriguing. The characters are so well developed and so distinct, and I felt like genuine, authentic main characters. I loved the friendship dynamic and the family dynamic, and the world building was so good and so interesting. I'm intrigued enough to continue this series and read the sequels. I'm assuming that this is a start of a new series. I'm not completely sure how many books she has planned, but I'm so excited to continue it because this book was really solid and really good. So anyway, with that said, I rated this book 4 to 5 stars and I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Curse of Eelgrass Bog. For those who don't know, this book is a middle-grade urban science fiction contemporary story, and it follows a young sapphic main character who is determined to break a curse. Honestly, I rated this book 3 out of 5 stars, and here's why. I think I expected this book to be more of an urban fantasy than an urban science fiction story. I think that's why I was ultimately disappointed by it. That's the main reason. Although, with that said, the plot was engaging and it was intriguing and the mystery was pretty interesting. Although the world building was more confusing than immersive, as that does happen with science fiction books whenever I read them. I don't know, maybe my brain is just not big enough to comprehend all the science fiction elements, the time travel adjacent stuff that happened in this story. I don't know, I feel like I can't quite elaborate on that without spoiling everything, but basically the characters were well developed and distinct and the friendships were lovely and the family dynamics made sense. I also appreciated how the queerness of the story felt really normalized and casual and just really well done. So the romance was definitely cute, but for me, overall, I rated this book 3 out of 5 stars, so take that as you will. The next book on this list is called Stay With My Heart. This story is a YA contemporary following a young South Asian main character who accidentally sabotages an up-and-coming local band, and as she's trying to recover from her mistakes and fix said mistake, she's also falling for the lead guitarist of that band. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but basically this book was absolutely so fantastic and it was so good. I really enjoyed it. I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed it literally so much. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. I loved the band friendship dynamic. It felt so wholesome and so well done. I also loved the main character's relationship with them individually. It was so good and so wholesome. Her romance made so much sense and it was so cute. The plot is so engaging and so intriguing. The family dynamics felt so authentic and so well done. I loved the conversations around mental health and everything like that. This book is so good. It's absolutely so awesome and it's so good. Honestly, I think that I prefer this book to A Show for Two, which is the author's last book. And this book was so awesome and it was so wholesome. I just truly really enjoyed every single second of it because it felt so captivating and so riveting. So anyway, all that to say, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars and I would definitely highly recommend it. The last book on this list is called Just Happy to Be Here. This story is a YA contemporary following a young South Asian transgender main character who is the only out transgender girl at her all-girls school who must choose between blazing a trail or keeping her head down. And honestly, I didn't really enjoy this book as much as I was really expecting to. But for me, the main issue laid within the writing. And I feel like the writing relied more on telling rather than showing. So there wasn't a whole lot of like world building within like the dialogue. I don't really know if that makes any sense. But this book like was so dialogue focused. And don't get me wrong, the conversations themselves were great. I just wanted more like world building and more showing rather than telling. Like the characters were well developed and distinct and they felt authentic and I felt for the main character, especially since all of her friendships felt really transactional rather than genuine. So I really felt for that. And like the queer representation was solid and the sapphic romance was good, although I didn't completely ship them because I didn't really trust a lot of the main characters. But like, anyway, I can't really spoil anything that happens in this book, and the plot was engaging. But anyway, overall, I rated this book 3 out of 5 stars. I don't really know if my review really makes any sense, so take that as you will. So in conclusion, my 2024 reading year has started off better than I was expecting. I mentioned this in my last video that I'm trying to be more authentic and more honest in my recent reads videos, so I think I might be uploading more recent reads videos this year than I did last year, just because like my average rating last year was 3.5, so I do read a lot of 3-star books that historically I used to exclude from my recent reads videos. So anyway, there's that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the TV emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!